What is up, YouTube, DTube, Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk a little bit quick about if I saw the last couple of days there has been more leaks about the Huawei Mate 30 Pro, and I sort of looked back a little bit with my experience with Huawei phones, and actually my best phone all time has always been the Huawei Mate 9. And I stopped using that one just because I accidentally dropped it, so the display sort of cracked on the front side a lot, not just a little bit, and that made it so I switched to another device. But I started to look into it more now about what is the latest Huawei phone, what is the latest one, and it seems like they might have a new one coming that's going to be officially unveiled on September the 19th, which I think is in 4 days or something like that. And it's apparently may look like this. This may be like a render of it. And the cool thing that you can see is it looks very clean. There are also some other photos of it that there's a quad render and stuff like that. But let's just talk a little bit quick about it because I bought the Galaxy S10 Plus a couple of days ago, and I realized this was some next level thing. The phones that we're getting now, as well as with the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the OnePlus 7 Pro, 2019 is quite an impressive year. It's not just, and I came from the Galaxy S8. It's not small upgrades. It's really good upgrades. So using the Galaxy S10 Plus for soon a week, I realized this is some next level stuff. Okay, and that's why I sort of looked into okay, what is the latest Huawei phone coming? Because Huawei, I think it's in China, and Samsung is, I think, South Korea. So it's kind of cool to see what is China gonna do. Okay, so we have this first earlier this year. They had the Huawei Mate, no, Huawei P30 Pro, I think it was called, and it was kind of cool. And now they seem to be leveling it up even more. Samsung, they have two lineups every year, the Galaxy S series and the Note series. But with the Note series, usually these days they have gotten a little bit lazy and they don't upgrade the specs massively, while Huawei is bringing out two high-end phones per year with like high-end specs. It looks like they're a little bit more competitive at the moment. Okay, so this new Mate 30 Pro, let's go to the basics of it. First, it might have the first triple front-facing camera. Triple selfie camera on the front side, has a notch, as you can see up there at the top side. You can like see a notch there. And yeah, it might have triple cameras on the front side. We're used to dual front-facing cameras. Triple, add another one, that's pretty cool. This video is recorded with the Galaxy S10 Plus. It has a dual front-facing camera. It's also amazing. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. It's impressive. Okay, so that's just the front side. Triple camera, maybe front-facing on the front side. A 90 hertz display, which is something that I think both Apple and Samsung not currently is doing. Oppo is doing it. They've done it on like 4 phones this year. 90 hertz, it supposedly have some great refresh rate, I think, and waterfall kind of curves. So it's like, it looks like a waterfall on the right and left side on the front screen. We've seen Samsung do this a little bit, the Galaxy S6 Edge, the Note Edge, but it wasn't as clean as it may be with the Mate 30 Pro. And it also may have the same effect on the backside. I think maybe the new Galaxy Note has it. So waterfall on the sides, bezel-less of course, same as the Galaxy S10 Plus has. But it's really cool with this sort of waterfall effect. It might not have the headphone jack, which is something I picked the Galaxy S10 Plus above the Note phone just because it had a headphone jack. I still sort of want the headphone jack. I don't want to go full Bluetooth at the moment because I have cables. I have headphones with cables. But you can do that somewhere with USB Type-C, but it sounds a little bit like it's a little bit more extra hassle. Okay, so on the back side, the rear side, you may have a quad camera. You know what that means? 4 camera sensors on the back. So triple on the front, quad on the back. This is just rumors, of course, but still, that sounds cool. You can also see it sort of has this sort of rounded design on the back side. This may not be the real thing, but it sort of has this rounded lens on the side. It says they made with the fingerprint sensor on the back side with Huawei Mate 9. It had like this great design. It looks like it's gonna have glass design as well on the backside. So I mean, when I just look at these specs, these use the camera alone and the design, it looks like this might be the best phone 2019, because it's also going to have 6.6-inch AMOLED display. So not just 90 hertz refresh rate, it's also going to have a bigger display than the Galaxy S10 Plus, and I think also the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I don't think it has that big. And that the rear cameras are basically two 40 megapixel cameras, 8 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 3D TOF sensor. Kirin 990 chipset. And yeah, it just sounds good because I have great experience with Huawei devices. Now, here is one thing that may not be so great, and that is that sort of Google seems to have sort of banned Huawei to sort of use their software. So they may have to go with some Android open source software or something like that, but that they may not be able to install YouTube app and a bunch of other Google services, and that you may not have the Play Store. So we sort of see this, it's almost like software has to eventually fully be like open, and that, I mean, of course, already on Android, we kind of used to, yeah, you can go to other places and download sort of apps, and a lot of people are doing that. And it just seems like that's going to be the standard in the future almost, because already right now a lot of apps are trying to sort of do the same thing. And yeah, so Huawei might eventually create their own OS operating system, but it looks like this one's going to run Android, but at the moment not with the Google services. I think the Huawei P30 Pro is still going to get some of those Google updates, and they still be able to have some of them apps, but yeah, it's just these, it's a little bit sad sometimes how technology has to get into these fights when all these companies and all companies, they should work together, especially with technology, and really see that, well, people should have access, right? And that's the most important aspect about this technology, that everyone should sort of have access to the same technology. Shouldn't be any bans on apps like YouTube and stuff like that, because this phone is not going to come with a YouTube app, which is, it's kind of strange a little bit. Maybe you can install it another way. I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that, but it's like, yeah, it's a little bit strange, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. I mean, people always find other apps and services, and most of them they're great alternatives for most stuff these days. But yeah, this may be the best device from the coming 2019. Now they're saying that it's going to maybe be unveiled in Munich, in Germany, on September the 19th. So that's in a couple of days. Have to see. Maybe it's going to be in October, but if it's people may have already done reviews in October, and that's the last quarter basically in 2019. So we're probably not going to see that many more new phones after that in 2019, but have some great phones coming this year. I only have checked out one, the Galaxy S10 Plus, but it sort of made me pay a little bit more attention again to the phone industry, because I did not 2018, because I didn't feel a need to upgrade. In 2019 I had to upgrade, and now I realize, whoa, there's really a lot of stuff going on in this space, and it really makes it exciting. It really makes it exciting, because then you start to consider 2020, 2021, I really look forward to in 2020, if we can see it. I would love to see it. Better battery technology. Just better battery technology. Because I have the most of the speed I need, but better battery technology, that would be so great. But I think it's going to take until 2021 or 2022 before we're going to see that. But a couple of years where people can sort of enjoy the new software, and sort of, they probably see a lot of their apps are always getting updated, and I've changed a lot of apps that I use on a daily basis used to last 12 months alone. So I think the next 2 to 3 years, a lot of people are mainly going to look at the software aspect and see, and also these big companies eventually going to move to software and look at how can we make the best experience possible, and try to connect all of these systems. And of course, we're gonna get better hardware as well. It's really exciting. You can do way more stuff with one smartphone now than maybe in a couple of years ago. You needed 3 devices to do those same things. Now you can use one device, and it's really as the phone ads from early 2000, where they were talking a little bit about, oh, you can do everything with this device. That those ads were ahead of its time, but now it's really starting to turn into a reality, where the ads that they did like 15 years ago on phones, like, this is going to be magical, this is going to be amazing, it wasn't amazing then. Like the first iPhone and stuff like that, there was a lot of hype. And the reason why, yeah, sure, it was still cool. Like, it was still cool, like a smartphone in 2010, but you had this great, you had no infrastructure built up. You had no people using these smart devices. So being first in that, it was okay. You can have a wild party, but if you were just the only person there, it's kind of boring. But now, when everyone sort of eventually have high-end smartphones, this technology is getting more and more interesting, especially in the software side, because it hasn't really happened that much in the software side the last 10 years. It's mainly been hardware in the background. But yeah, Huawei Mate 30 Pro, it may be the best device we're gonna see in 2019. And I think mainly why I think this year was kind of interesting is because, yeah, I mean, as a content creator, of course, we love the video. We love when we get triple cameras and quad cameras, because it really improves a content creator's creation. I think that the dual camera, it looked so much gimmicky. It didn't look like they were serious. It looked like a parody. But the triple cameras and the quad cameras, you really see now that they're serious with making great cameras. And I really want to try the new Apple camera. I even saw that Nokia made one camera, I think a rear camera on the Nokia 7 or something like that, that had 5 sensors. So it's going places. And yes, we had a couple of years ago, we had some with one sensor that was super high megapixels, but it's now that I really start to see the quality is being amped up, and it's really getting better. So yeah, Huawei Mate 30 Pro may be a great phone. It's probably going to be great. It looks like Huawei really want to compete. It looks like they're going for the number one spot in terms of the manufacturer that is creating cool smartphones. Apple and Samsung may grow a little bit lazy. I actually think that Samsung, the last 2 years, they're really stepping it up again. They had a few years, I think, between maybe 2015 to 2017, where they were kind of a little bit lazy. But it looks like they're really stepping it up again, and I sort of like that. But Apple, they can do way better. Uh, they can do way better. I saw that the new iPhones, I only think they had 4 gigabytes of RAM, and they're not really upgrading the display that much. And only 64 gigabytes of storage in a device, 2019, really? Really? And no 128 gigabyte. I think it was like a bump. You instantly need to go to 256. I don't know, small things like that is a little bit annoying with Apple. Maybe they're growing a little bit lazy. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the subject, but some stuff to consider. So I'm gonna look forward to this, seeing this. I'm not sure if they're gonna have an event or something like that, but they may have it. This is a rumor, of course. September the 19th, a new Huawei Mate 30 phone. I love the Mate in the name. Yeah. Have a great day, YouTube and Steam blockchain. Bye bye.